Pantry, and today I'm going to show you a holiday dressing for two that is going to be able to go in the microwave to save space in our oven. I'm going to use the Tupperware's Micro Pro Grill. I've used it before for you. I've been getting requests. A few of you have bought them from my website and are requesting more recipes. So I'm going to give you a holiday recipe. Maybe you'll have it in time for the Thanksgiving, but if not, you'll have it in time for Christmas because this is a decadent dressing. I'm also going to use the Pro Chef for cutting up my vegetables and my herbs. So stars of the show are fresh oysters from the Northwest. These are wonderful. I'm going to drain these off. And these are medium size. Normally I would pick extra small, so I'm going to cut these up. This, because it's for two, I only needed 10 ounces. So that's a 10-ounce jar of fresh oysters. You drain off all that liquor that you've got, and I'm going to go in with my scissors and cut them up into smaller chunks because I want the oysters all the way through the dressing. And you want to go ahead and let these drain the whole time you're prepping everything else so you can actually get most of that liquid off, and ooh, it's going to be good because that liquid's going in your dressing. All right, so there's that. Now, we're going to leave that alone. I've got a big handful of fresh parsley. Do you guys want to come in close so you can see how this all works? Come on. Okay, so I know a lot of you are going to ask, can I do this in the oven? Yes, you can. Preheat your oven right now at 350 degrees and use an 8x8 baking pan for this, or something. You could even do a little bit smaller. You could use a loaf pan. It really doesn't matter. It's dressing, so use whatever vessel you have. You don't have to use the Pro Grill. I'm saving space in my oven for the holidays, so I'm going to use it. And the Pro Grill does not allow any of the microwaves to touch the food because of the receptor plates, both in the top and the bottom. And I can brown my casserole. It's going to be fantastic. So in the Pro Chef here, I'm going to put my parsley down in here, and I've got about a half of a large onion. We're going to put that down. I have 2 stalks of celery, and that's going in. And we're going to chop this up. How easy is this? My grandson loves this thing. He gets to chop everything. He's like, "Can I do it?" So I think that household needs one. Anyway, I'm going to bring this over here. It's pretty easy. You just get your lid secured into place. Once it's in place, and the first couple turns might be a little bit harder, but once you get it started, there you go. And you just pull until you get the consistency of what you want. And I want a pretty fine chop on it because of the... And then you just take a peek. You can either take this lid off and look in there. It's perfect. Or you can take the whole thing. So I'm just going to take that off. And look at that. I didn't have to bring out the heavy food processor, plug it in, put the blades in. So this is easy cleanup. Just pull that right out. And there you go. In a little saute pan, I've got 2 tablespoons of Kerrygold butter, and I'm only gonna let you use Kerrygold. It's a must. And I want this full of veggie flavor. The aromatics and the parsley really make the dish. So we have seasoned bread cubes for, stuffing or dressing, whatever you do. I always do dressing, even though sometimes I call it stuffing. This is going on the stove, and I may add another tablespoon of butter, just because who doesn't love butter? So I've got about 2.5 cups of seasoned breadcrumbs. Now, they're not seasoned enough for me, and I get this McCormick's poultry seasoning at Costco. I'm going to go ahead with a little bit more of that because I love that flavor. Some cracked black pepper because I feel like you have to have it. And in the vegetable mixture over here, a fair amount of salt just to start that sweating so we can get those nice and tender. All right, I'm gonna bring you over to the stove. Okay, so I'm gonna put in another healthy tablespoon of butter. So that's 3 tablespoons of butter. And we're gonna add to our breadcrumb mix, we're gonna add about a quarter to a half of a sleeve of saltine crackers. And I'm also gonna add 2 eggs and a little bit of chicken stock. And the liquor from the oysters, it's gonna be decadent and delicious. So I'll bring you back when this is all sauteed up and we're ready to put this casserole of oyster dressing together. Okay, so now we've got our bread stuffing here, and I've seasoned it, as you saw. I'm gonna put in some of these saltine crackers. So it looks like about 10 or 12. If I was gonna do a big oyster stuffing for the whole, you know, a big family meal, big casserole, I would put in a whole sleeve of those. But okay, so I also want to crack down 2 eggs. And these are small little range-free organic eggs. If it was a jumbo egg, I might only use 1, but you want that to bind. So there's that. And let's get this in there. We're going to go ahead and add our oyster liquor. Okay. And that's going to absorb right into that. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm super excited. And I may need a bigger bowl, doggone it. I need to get this all absorbed. I need to add the veggies in, but I want to make sure that I get enough of the breadcrumbs saturated. And I'm going to have to add a little bit of chicken stock. No worries though. Chicken stock, it's delicious. And I'm using the low sodium because I did add salt, and we've got the oysters. They're salty and briny. And my mouth is watering thinking about this side dish. So, here we go. Okay, so I feel like we're about ready to add the, want a little bit more. You don't really want a bunch of crunchy breadcrumbs. And when you're baking this in an oven, it's going to dehydrate in the oven. In the microwave, it doesn't do that quite as much, but I'm going to have it on casserole setting. So I don't know if you guys can see this good enough. Here, I'll try to get out of the way. But the veggies are all sauteed. It doesn't take long because I chopped them pretty fine in the Pro Chef. So you can do this with the regular food processor. I would just pulse until you get the size you want. Or you can chop it all by hand, which is what I usually do. I'm going to take the easy way out this year, though. Okay. Now it's time to add in the oysters. And there's, like I said, there's not that many because it's just, this is for 2. So you probably could have 4 servings out of this, but it's literally, if it was just you and your honey, or you know, there's just 2 of you. This way you can have Thanksgiving leftovers or holiday leftovers. So mix in your oyster pieces, and look at that. I'm super happy with that. Now it's going to go in the Pro Grill. So I'm going to spray the Pro Grill with some cooking spray just to help get it all nice and happy. Take my finished, oh, it's going to be so good. And I see a piece of oyster that's a little long, so just take your scissors and give it a trim. And this goes right down onto your dish. Right there. It smells fantastic. I'm telling you, it smells so good. So I hope you guys have been writing this down. This is my recipe condensed down to make it where it's for 2 people. And then I'm going to spread this out evenly, and that's just perfect. Oh my gosh. Okay. And plenty of moisture. Everything's wonderful. So I'm going to put this in the microwave on high, and I will check it after 12 minutes. I'm going to put this on the casserole setting. So if I was to turn this lid, it will set down on top. And you could do that to brown it, but this will allow this to vent out some moisture and it's gonna be fantastic. Okay guys, so this is done. I had it in there for a full 20 minutes. I wanted to make sure that the eggs got cooked through. And look, it's nice and toasty brown on top. And you're gonna have brown on the bottom. How wonderful is that? So I'm gonna dish this up on a plate. Okay guys, so the sides you can touch. They're warm, but they're not hot. You're not gonna burn yourself. The inside of the lid and the inside of the Pro Grill is extremely hot, so be careful. It gets up to 425, so I'm gonna dish up a little portion for me. Oh, non-stick, look at that. How pretty is that? Oh, garnish with a little bit of fresh parsley on the plate. There we go. And you've got just a decadent serving of oyster dressing. And it's brown on the bottom as well. Hope you can see that. Cooked all the way through. Smells amazing. Absolutely wonderful. Moist. There's an oyster. Ooh, I have to have it. Moist, delicious, a little crust on the bottom and the top. Who doesn't love that for a side dish of dressing? It's so rich. This I like to have with no gravy on it whatsoever, because I keep it a little more moist than some of the other dressings I make. You can make this with the cornbread, and I just want to repeat, you can do this in your oven, in your conventional oven. This was 20 minutes in the microwave. I checked it after 10, and I went another 10. I wanted to make sure the eggs were cooked through. In a conventional oven, it would be 350 for 40 minutes. So if you've got room in your oven, go ahead and try this recipe, and I hope you enjoy it for the holidays. Any of the stuff I used today, you can check a link below. I'll have my Tupperware link as well as my Thrive link, which right now, the Black Friday sale is in full swing for consultants, and tomorrow it's in full swing for everyone. So the 21st of November, go over to my Thrive website and do some shopping. I could have used Thrive celery and onions and saved myself some shopping time. All right, guys, we'll see you next time for another delicious recipe. And if I don't see you before the holiday, happy Thanksgiving. Be blessed, and